starting out with you and Bobby, and you mentioned it's like you guys are ride and die. Did you know that right from the start whenever you guys met, or?
You know, at the beginning, I was very skeptical because I meet this guy. I'm like, you don't even know me. He's asking me to be his ride and die. I mean, as soon as I meet him, and he's telling me to quit my job, come along with his side. Let's go open a business. Let's go do this. And I'm like, what? Like, are you crazy? Like, okay, no, like, to tell you the truth, it took me to the time that I got pregnant to really, and that was 6 months. It wasn't big. It wasn't a huge thing. But when I got pregnant, I'm like, okay, what am I doing here? I either have to not be with this guy or believe in him, grab his hand, and let's take this journey together and be our ride and die. And luckily, we decided to, be our ride and die, grab our hands, and take this path together. And it's been an amazing, amazing ride. Very blessed to have him in my life. So it's been awesome. We're a great complement to one another. He's a little crazy on one side, and then I have crazy on the other side, but we balance each other amazing. And we've been able to accomplish so many things in life that's been the reward has been great.
Yeah, you're the yin and the yang.
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely.
I feel as if within the entrepreneurial world that relationships, of course, they're extremely important, but if we're talking from a couple perspective, I feel business owners really get distracted with it. And I feel as if it can just totally throw them off their mission. And I think about, man, how many more successful entrepreneurs, how many more successful business owners would there be if they stay focused? So I guess within yourself and with Bobby together, was there a lot of distractions?
I don't know about distractions per se, but there was a lot of obstacles that we needed to get through, especially that we were so young, didn't really know each other, and then starting a business together. And so at the very beginning, we would fight a lot. Bobby has a very type A personality. Everything has to be like this. He's very focused. He's very OCD. And I'm a little bit more of a relaxed, I'll get my things done, but I'm not like super OCD so at the very beginning, it took us a lot to understand each other's personalities. And we didn't set lanes, like I call them. You have this lane, I have this lane. We're both going to the same end goal, but you drive here, I drive here. And at the beginning, we were just, we didn't know all of these, moving parts when it becomes, an entrepreneur, starting a business, being a husband and wife, having a baby, all these things, we didn't understand them. And as we went going and growing, we started saying, listen, I came up with something like, okay, so if we're fighting because of this, why don't you set some responsibilities that you're going to handle in the business and that I'm going to handle in the business, and then we meet together and we try to organize. If you need my help, I need your help, we'll do that. We did that, and it was so much better. Now, a lot of couples always say, yeah, but now I get annoyed being with my husband or my wife all day long, having to see her at work, then having to see her at home, having to go do sports or fun time or family time, and I'm with my wife and my husband all day long. So it's a difficult thing for spouses to get along. But Bobby and me learned that we were going to speak and communicate and try to make this work. Because if we didn't, what was the other outcome? He tried to be an entrepreneur on himself, me go work for somebody. Why not be able to communicate like adults? And let's say sometimes I didn't like that Bobby would tell me to do my job at the time that he wanted me to do it, right? I didn't like that. It would bother me and I would snap at him, and then he would get mad that I would get mad at him. So those things you have to learn, that communication, bending, balancing act with each other is very important. So we learned how to do it. Did it work right away? No. Yeah. But we knew that our end goal was here and we both wanted to get there. So we needed that, let me hand your back up or grab my hand, and it was going to work best. So we were only fighting the grid. Why? It worked. And then when you learn that, it was so smooth. and now it's amazing. We have a little rule in our relationship that if the fight is not gonna bring us to a divorce, walk away from each other and just give each other 5 minutes, an hour, whatever you need.
Love that.
But why fight? You fight and then later on you're right back at, oh, I love you. I'm sorry. Why? You've wasted so many hours. And in business, every hour counts. Even in your life, like Bobby says, your non-refundable minutes. So why are you spending your non-refundable minutes with somebody that only wants your best interest? So
Ooh, quote that.
yeah. So we learned that, and that's why we've been so successful together, being able to create this empire and this generational wealth that we have created for hopefully 100 years. That's our goal. And it's been an amazing, beautiful. We have a great relationship. We love each other. Our business thrives, and who better do you want next to your side?
Yeah, you guys are the perfect example because even these, I mean, we're talking, the top of the wealthiest in the world. You see the issues that they go through.
Yeah.
But then married, you guys are lifelong partners with everything that you do.
Yeah.
So you guys are always on each other's hip and everything. And I feel as if that's just something that's so crucial for those that are listening and just anybody that watches this. They'll slowly start to realize that, especially
Yes.
being young, because you can't just go from here to here. You have to go through that gap in between. You have to go through the jungle, cut down with machete, all these different, like the grass, the wires, and
Yeah, and then another thing that people don't understand, let's say you don't work with your spouse, guys, ladies, men, whatever, everybody that's listening. When you have a bad day at work and you get home, your spouse or your girlfriend, whatever it is, doesn't understand what you went through at the day. You get home and that person wants to be happy or wants to sit and talk to you, and you're in a bad mood, you don't want to talk, right? What happens? Your spouse, your boyfriend, whatever, your partner gets super pissed off at you because they're not understanding what you're doing. Or you come home and you're super jippity, and then your spouse is with the babies all day or with the kids or had an awful day at work.
Yeah.
They don't understand whether, it's your boyfriend or wife or whatever. They don't understand what's going on at work. So then you get home and your life at home is like this, right? So if you don't have your spouse or your partner in the same business, you still got to come together and discuss your business with your significant other, so that when you get home mad or you get home happy, they could understand your mood and where it's coming from, so that at home you're at peace, you're together. And that brings a big outcome when you get to work the next day or whatever, because you got home and you're in a happy place because your spouse is able to listen to your bad, your good, your whatever it is. You guys could discuss your day. So a lot of men out there, they feel like they're the, and don't take this wrong, men, but it's the alpha in you. And I'm not saying it. There's some women that are like that, but majority of the men feel like I'm the one that has to be the one that's making the money. It's my business. My wife doesn't need to be involved. She doesn't need to know. She needs to be the housewife. And then when you're at home, you're unhappy. You can't even ask your wife to go out to have a drink with you. You want to go and leave your wife at home so how does that make your whole life whole and happy? Yeah, you could be a great entrepreneur, super excited about bringing in, accomplishments and this and that, but then at your home, you're not happy. So you can never be 100% if you can't bring this together. And business and home life are 1-to-1. They are right there. So Bobby and myself learned that too. And I try to tell that to every entrepreneur, to any couple out there that wants to get ahead in life and that they want to do something, is learn that when you pick that spouse, that partner, you picked it for a reason, because you want that partner to be there for you, whether in the good times or in the bad times. And you can't be successful if you cannot have your whole life happy, filled with joy and wanting to be at home too, because you want to get home and be happy.
Yeah.
So, if you don't want to be in business with your spouse, I get it. Some people can't do it, but understand how to communicate how you're feeling, how's your business, what are your struggles, because that spouse could give you advice, even though they're not at your business, on how to get through some struggles or how to implement something that you didn't think of, so they're your partners. So, use that, because it really gives you power. It really does. And I have been doing it with Bobby for 30 years and we're still going strong, and wouldn't change it for the life of us, but that's just us. But if you don't want to bring in your spouse, or you're not in business with your spouse, at least make sure that you communicate that, so that way you are able to be happy or sad at home and not feel the pressure of that other person not understanding you.
You said within the males, they definitely have, I feel like, they have that guard. It's like their ego can't accept whenever their partner, the female, gives them that advice. It kills so many relationships and then the partnerships within the business.
100%. 100%. And if they would learn that little trick, I'm telling you, it is a life changer, guys. It's life changing, because it makes you just bring down that guard and be able to be successful at home. Being successful at home.
That's huge.
It's huge because it is a struggle. You have personalities, whatever. But if you could take that on, you would see what it would do for your other side in business. It's great. It really is.